Today, let's talk about dashi a little bit, which is like a basic and fundamental skill of the Japanese cuisine technique. Japan is an island, okay? So actually, like we use a lot of the seafood, which is like a kombu kelp. This is we're talking about the umami flavor of kombu is called the glutamine acid. And also we use a lot of the the regional food using also the bonito flakes. Okay? We're going to add those two together to make the combination dashi. Okay? Whoever took my class, of course, you learn from the sushi class, of course, and from Japanese cuisine class too. By the way, from the kelp, we have it called the glutamine acid, okay? And also from the bonito, okay? We have it called the inosinic acid. Okay? Those two kind of the umami, that amino acid, we actually put onto the one broth to make it. Alright, I'll show you the little bit procedure. I prepared like 1 liter of the water, and 1 liter of the water, cold water, which is more ideal as the soft water. And you're actually going to add about like a 1% weight of kombu into the cold water, which is the 1 liter, which is 1,000 grams. So like a 10 gram of the kombu, just leave it in there. And like leave it about like 10 minutes in cold. And from right there, you're going to start, heat them up, low cooking, low heat cooking. And it brings it up to about like 85 degrees. Then, once it's like the water hits to 85 degrees, you're going to take it out, kombu. Alright, here's the water. I've been actually cooking, the water about like lasted the 15 minutes. Okay, this is almost hit about the 85 degrees. I know it's the temperature is important, but like visually, probably you can recognize more better. You try to recognize it better. Because like if you keep boiling, cooking the water, then like you'll see the little small white bubbles are from the kombu. Okay, that's about like 85 degrees. That's about the time you can take it out the kombu. Don't leave it at the kombu in here till you brings it up to the boiling point. Okay, you're going to see bitter flavor of the kombu, so you don't want to. All right, so let's wait for like a couple minutes. Okay, so like once water temperature start hitting to about like 85 degrees, all right, then like we're going to take it out. You're going to take it out this kombu, from this water. Alright, so this is a 1% thickness of the kombu dashi. But make sure, once it's like you take it out the kombu and you gotta bring this up to the close to like a boiling point, but don't boil it. The key for the Japanese cooking, once you try to learn about the dashi, if you boil it, you throw away. Do not boil. So but make sure, you gotta sanitize the water. You gotta sanitize it, so you gotta make sure it brings up to almost to the boiling point. So I always keep saying go ahead and make sure bring it up to like 95 degrees, 98 degrees. Once it start, reach to the boiling point, you can stop. On top right there, what you're gonna do is 2% weight of bonito flakes. So this is the 1000 cc of water. So that means that 2%, which is the 20 gram, 20 gram weight of the bonito flakes. After your kombu, the broth, 1% kombu broth brings up to the almost boiling point. You turn it off and you can throw these into the over to the kombu dashi. Alright, then you wait about like 2 minutes. Alright, all the bonito flakes gonna be start absorb the kombu dashi. Then they started, they were light, so they were floating first on the surface. But they're going to start sitting down over to the bottom of the pan. So once it's at the bottom, hit down to the bottom of the pan, which is about it takes about 2 minutes. All right, then you are ready to strain these okay, the dashi. Alright, you're gonna use a good, nice, the strainer. And we do have actually called it the dashi cloth, but if you don't have it, just a regular kitchen paper will be fine. Okay. Alright, so you're just going to flatten it over to the strainer. Alright, then we're going to strain these. About like 30 more seconds. Alright, so this is about like 2 minutes. Okay, and after I throw it like a bonito flakes in there, we're going to strain these. Okay, but when you try to strain these, make sure, okay, you're going to strain slowly. Okay, don't just dump it in here. Going to just gently strain all these dashi. And then do not squeeze these. Okay. I don't have time to show you over here at this time, but we actually going to use these leftover bonito flakes, and also from these kombu, we're going to make the secondary dashi, which means whatever we actually strain, this is called ichiban dashi, primary dashi. Those are we're going to use. They cook a certain thing today. But just to give you a general idea, these dashi, ichiban dashi, we're not using for the miso soup. This is for making a clear soup, with it. So for general cooking, we use these, but not for the miso soup. Right, so here's the ichiban dashi. It's a nicely good golden color. Dashi. Okay. And it's really the aroma is so nice. Yeah, I love to. Going to use these for cooking. Okay. So today, let's try to make the agadashi dofu. Agadashi tofu. So which is a deep fried tofu sit into the broth. And also let me cook the chicken with the chicken itself is coated by the starch. Let's try to let them sit onto the one same dish. Let's try to marinate the chicken first. Alright, these are the Japanese free range chicken. So first of all, what you're gonna do? Alright, we're going to marinate these with the soy sauce. And dashi. Alright, you take about 1 scoop, 1 scoop of a dashi. Oh, maybe 2 scoop today, because it's a good amount of it. So, 2 scoop of dashi. Alright, and you can use a dark soy sauce. Dark soy, same amount. So I've added the 2 scoops, so you can add 2 scoops of dark soy sauce. Alright, then let's try to marinate these chicken in here. Alright, if you leave it in here about let's say about 5 minutes, it'll be okay. At the same time, let's try to make the sauce we're gonna cook these with. We have a dashi, about 1 cup, which is the Japanese 1 cup is about 180 cc. So you can go ahead and take the 180 cc of dashi down in here, right? And then on top right there, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar. 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. Alright, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons. Okay, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Then on top right there, okay, we're going to add the mirin, which is the sweet rice wine, okay? 3 scoops, 3 tablespoons. And we're going to mix these all well together. Okay, this is going to be cooking sauce for the chicken. Okay? All right. Besides here, okay, let's try to add something, which is I was talking about the Agadashi tofu, which is I bought a silky tofu this morning. Okay? It doesn't have to be like a silky or the cotton one, right? Which is you actually going to try to squeeze out the water a little bit, okay? If you purchase like a tofu from the market, which contains so much moist, okay? But we don't need that much moist anyway. So like when we deep fry it, so like make sure, okay, you're going to actually press, go ahead, cover up the tofu. And you can add it like a little bit weight on top of it. Okay, so maybe you leave it about 20 minutes. You don't have to add it too much weight. Okay, just as long as you have the good enough amount of the weight on top to squeeze out the water. You see like a lot of the water on my tray. Okay, that's how you can squeeze out the water. Okay, off from right there. Okay. We're going to deep fry it. See it. It happens. Yeah. All right, that's why this is called live. Okay, something happens. First of all, okay, you're going to cut in at a certain good size, bite size. Okay, don't cut in at too thick. Okay, but you're just going to cut in several good sizes. Maybe you can add like 3 pieces per bites. Okay, per the serving. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. This is I'm gonna cook. And also at the same time, okay, let's try to actually deep fry a little bit zucchini. Because I bet you guys have zucchini back in home. Okay, so let's try to cut several pieces of zucchini. Okay, already washed it. Okay, so let's try to cut these in a little bit angular. Also about 3 pieces. Okay. Right, zucchini, bye-bye. Alright, so we're going to deep fry these with potato starch. Okay, Japanese name is called katakuriko. Okay, katakuriko. If you won't be able to get these, you can also purchase cornstarch. Okay, that'll be okay, but not the flour. Okay, flour is actually turning into different kind of the results. You don't want the flour. Okay, you want the potato starch. If it's necessary, if you won't be able to go ahead and get the cornstarch. All right. So at the same time, you prepare the vegetable oil pan. Okay, it has to be kind of the deep pan. Okay, it's needed the good thickness of the oil pan. Then this is about a vegetable oil, and I added about 5% of the sesame oil, roasted one, okay, to get the nicely good aroma on top of it. Okay. That's right here. Okay. All right. At the same time. Okay. All right. Let's try to deep fry the things first. All right. So once you have these chickens, okay, remember I marinated for 5 minutes thing. So these, go ahead, strain these first. Alright, you take it out the chicken from the sauce. Okay. Which is gonna give it a lot of the good flavor. Okay, because like if you don't marinate it and just deep fry it, it's like, I mean, it still like has a good chicken flavor, but like you know, it's like once we try to cook with it, the good broth with it, which is to give it a lot more the flavor, inner flavor. Alright, so actually you can reuse the sauce together later. Okay, so if you're working for a restaurant, okay, you can reuse these sauce for like same day, okay, not in a day over, but. Let's try to deep fry, okay, all these items first. Okay. First of all, okay, it doesn't matter which one first, but let's try to do the tofu. Okay. Alright, you can use the brush to brush the starch over to the tofu. Okay. Alright, and the idea for it, like deep frying at the oil temperature is going to be around like 170 would be fine, okay, for tofu and the zucchini. But for chickens, about like 180. Okay, so like make sure, okay, you're going to deep fry these. Okay, all right, same thing. Okay, this is the idea for making like Agadashi tofu. Alright, once you deep fry these, okay, tofu you don't have to actually deep fry too much, but as long as the starch part is like, you know, really stick together, okay, then you can actually take it out from there. Okay. When you see that the deep frying technique, okay, make sure like you gotta learn, okay, make sure keep cooking more and more and see that how much the bubbles came out, okay, the size of the bubble, okay, the sound of the bubble, that's how we're gonna judge like the deep fry cooking. Okay. If you're working for a Japanese cuisine restaurant, probably you're working for the deep fry section first. Okay. Then like that shows you like how to cook basic stuff. Probably in the world, worldwide, whoever starts from sushi probably end up with sushi. But if you're working for a Japanese restaurant, you gotta do all the kitchen work, and then go to the sashimi. All right. At the same time, zucchini. Okay, you don't have to actually add a little bit. Okay, you don't have to add starch, but like if it's like the zucchini is kind of too moist, okay, just brush it like a little bit of starch over to it and deep fry it lightly. Okay? You don't have to deep fry too much. Okay? Just kind of heat through it. Okay? You don't have to overcook in here because you're going to actually cook. Okay. These zucchini and tofu and everything in here later. Okay, so just about heat through. Okay. Alright, once you deep fry the zucchini, go cut them off the oil and take it out. Okay. Now like you're gonna bump these oil to like a 10-degree more, okay? Which is not that much, but just watch the temperature. Alright, then let's try to cook the chicken with this. When you try to cook chicken, you don't have to actually cook through here and not at the more than 70%, okay? Because later on, after we deep fry these, then we're going to start cooking those chicken in here with the sauce we made earlier. So basically like a 70% cooking, 25% more cooking on the sauce. Then when you serve it, it's gonna be ready. And this is a general cooking technique. Okay, you try to cook through in your kitchens by like a 95%, 98%. By the time the customer gets served, it has to be 100% ready. Okay, that's how you always gonna consider the cooking needs. Okay, so don't try to cook everything here not 100%. So let's try to cook several chicken in here. All right, you take the chicken, you do it the same thing. Starch over. Then throw in. So go ahead and deep fry these chicken about up to like a 70% cooking. Okay. In the meanwhile, go ahead and start heat them up the sauce part. Okay. Okay. And a deep fry cooking, don't try to move around too much. Let them do the work. Okay. As long as they not stick together, that'll be fine. Okay. Let them do the work. The oil can do a lot of things for you. Okay. Well, what you gotta see is like, how much did the bubbles came out from your ingredients? Okay. How much did they make in a noise? Okay. That's how you judge it, like a deep fry cookie. Alright, once you cook about like a 70%, go ahead and take it out from oil. Okay. And also a little tip for the deep fry cooking. Okay. After you take it out from oil, just to let it sit against the oil surface, the oil's going to drain the oil. Okay. So that's how you want to cut them off the oil properly. Hold it and like shake it like this. No, just leave it against the surface. Alright, so once you're done cooking off from the oil, you go away. Alright, then switch over the sauce part. Alright, then like from here, go ahead and start throw these chicken, everything in together, but probably the vegetable at the last. Alright, what does is a little bit the starch are from the little chicken and like also from tofu. Those starch gonna be sticking up the sauce a little bit, because that's what the starch does. Alright, just gonna start throwing into the oil. And also I heard about like you guys have a lot of questions about the knife, huh? So maybe next chance I might show you how to sharpen like the knife, Western knife, Japanese knife, all those. Alright, just cook through the heat inside, about like a 25%. So now like you're just going to cook a little bit chicken with the sauce. Just make sure keep rotate a little bit. But you don't have to thicken up the sauce, because like naturally all the starch was on the chicken is going to be drained into the sauce and make it thicken up. So like you just don't have to. Alright, so once it's the heat through up to about 25%, alright, now we are ready to make the finalize the dish. So fillet tofu. Okay. Really up here. Okay. Alright, then okay, go ahead and take the chicken off from your pan. Accidente. めっちゃアクシデンテじゃん。はい、and zucchini. Just a little bit the green. Okay, you can add it on in front of it. Okay. Alright, on top right there. Okay, you can go ahead. Okay, pour it a little bit cooking juice over. Okay, because there's a lot of the good flavor in here. Okay, dashi and okay, chicken flavor in there. Alright, so this is the dish I prepared today in last 30 minutes to explain it a little bit. Okay, so a little bit of the agadashi tofu, and also the chicken is coated by covered by the starch, and just added a little bit zucchini. Okay. Alright, so this is, I'm going to taste it a little bit later. Okay. If you get a chance, okay, go ahead and reach to the tsavideos.com. Okay, and then you might be able to find like a whole bundle version of the salmon, okay, which is actually a really useful technique on there. Where's my chopsticks? Let me end up with how I enjoy my little dish. One of my favorite dishes is called karaage, which is like just deep fried the chicken. Yeah, but even when it's like it's sitting in the Japanese broth, it turned into the little more Japanese dish. Yeah, I mean you say Japanese, yeah, but really this is tasty. Yeah, all right. Bon appetit, myself.
Bon appetit. いただきます。
Well, thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, see you guys next time. All right.